Hello, my name's Shane Ibbs and I'm a storyteller, and it was a great privilege to be asked by Norfolk Libraries to ask me to become part of this project, this project that connects us people with nature and all that there is out there. And they've asked me just to do a little short piece just to give you an idea of what it might be about. I wonder what you think your nature connection is. Mine can be in the garden feeding the birds at my home, or it can be coming out to a big wood like this and just hearing, seeing and looking and smelling as to what's around. Just have a little listen. Hopefully you can pick up that background of birds chirping and singing away. Well, when I came in, I disturbed a muntjac deer and it shot off as fast as anything, bless it, ducking and diving underneath the brambles and the grass to get away. Little did it know I'm merely a friend. I just love to watch the nature and wildlife, and many of the stories that I tell are folk and fairy tales about what happens in the wood or close to a wood or on the edge of a wood or deep in a dark wood. And stories can take you to many places, and I also get to see and hear real life stories in the wood too. And as I come into the wood, I normally stop and I become silent immediately, and I sniff the air, what's on the wind, what scent. I feel the ground underneath my feet. Is it slippery? Is it dry? It's a bit wet at the moment, actually. It's very soft, and you can smell all the mulch that's developing, all that sort of rich, earthy smell that you get in a wood. And I listen to what's on the wind and the bird song and what have we, and I might have a little look around, and then I enter the wood. And I wear what they call barefoot shoes, which allows me to feel the floor of the wood much more than ordinary shoes. It's a very sensory experience. So I'm feeling the wood. I can feel the wind on my face and my hands as I'm talking to you now. I can hear the bird song, and I'm looking around now, and the leaf has all fallen off the tree, and so on. And there's just so much information in the wood. I forage for mushrooms sometimes, and there's a little story. I don't know how much I can tell you, but I was in the wood one time, and it's a wood that lots of squirrels use and lots of deer, and there's badger in here too, and muntjac and what have we, and there's a track where the deer use it. It's like a deer highway, and I was crawling along it one day on my hands and knees, and a pheasant startled. He let out that sort of rattling noise that they do, and instead of just flying off, he was dead still. And I thought, that's unusual. And then I looked ahead, and I could see a herd of deer were foraging. Some were eating on the ground, and the others were up, either listening with their ears, rather their big ears to listen, and the others were looking to see what was going on. And then a fox came trotting down the track, and we, through a bush, I like to think we actually fixed eyes on each other, but I think he was using his nose. I think he could sense me. I think he could smell me. He could sense me. He was using his senses, because he couldn't see through that bush that I was hiding behind, but I could see him actually. But I also sense the atmosphere around me, and that's what can happen in a wood. So anyway, I could talk about it for hours. Come and join us, and we can talk about your nature experiences. Hopefully you might develop some new ones, and you can tell us some stories, and I'll hopefully share one or two real life or folk or fairy tales all about what happens in the wood. Thank you. I've been Shane.